Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to go forward and accomplish that dream. This is episode 450. 450 episodes of this podcast, Mogul Motivation. Started in 2016. I tell the story often on this podcast. It's 2024 now, so been going strong for 8 years. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey in my podcasting career. The fact that I've been podcasting way before podcasting was even super popularized. And I have 2 podcasts now. Sociology, which is the sister podcast. That one is all about Chicago culture, Chicago history, and Chicago sociological effects and how Chicagoans think and why we operate the way we do. Currently working on my 3rd novel. It's been a wild entrepreneurial ride in these 8 years of me doing this podcast. And I'm grateful for every step of the way. I'm grateful for every hurdle. I'm grateful for every success and every leap that I have made. And there are still major goals that I have yet to accomplish, but I believe I am on the precipice of accomplishing some of these major goals. And I just want to share with you, whether you're trying to climb the corporate ladder in your career, or whether you're trying to advance your entrepreneurial journey and find bigger opportunities, embrace the journey. Embrace the journey. I truly feel like one of the reasons why I haven't accomplished certain things that I want to accomplish in these 8 years of this Mogul Motivation podcast, these 450 episodes, is because I had to fall in love with the journey. No one is saying that it's going to be easy. No one's saying that it has to be hard. Life is hard, but it's fair. As long as you continue to have that spiritual component in your life, life is always going to be fair because you understand that there is a greater power that can do things that you cannot do on your own power. And what I'm trying to get at is simply this. What you are doing, you have to love it. You can't just do what you want to do with the expectation it's going to be an instant success, with the expectation that everything you want is going to come to you right now in this instant. You have to understand, if the things that you want come to you when you want them, there's a great chance you are going to fumble it, or there's a great chance that it's going to cripple you because you are not ready to handle it. And that's what I learned throughout these 8 years of the Mogul Motivation podcast, throughout these 450 episodes. There are a lot of topics I've talked about, and I've talked about many of the same topics from different perspectives. But I had to fall in love with the journey. I had to fall in love with the fact that I am turning on the microphone, that I'm editing a podcast, and that I'm putting it out on these internet airwaves for you to consume and for you to be inspired and uplifted by that. But not only that, I had to really fall in love with it because I was in love when I started it. Then there were times where I didn't want to do the podcast anymore, but now I'm falling back in love with it. And I'm falling back in love with it because I understand that the journey literally brought me to this moment in time in 2024 where I am on the precipice of a huge gain. So even though you can't see it in the moment wherever you are in your journey, understand that everything is literally a building block setting you up for a huge gain and a huge leap. You are on the precipice of accomplishing something that you've wanted to accomplish for a long, long time. Even though you felt that those accomplishments should have come to you sooner, they didn't come to you sooner because if it came to you sooner, it would have crippled you and it would have ruined everything that you built in the process on this journey. Fall in love with it. Embrace it. There are going to be times where you are frustrated, and that's okay. That's a human emotion. It's natural. There are going to be times where you doubt yourself. That's okay. That's a human emotion. It's natural. There are going to be times where you are fearful, but that's okay. That's a human emotion. It is natural. But none of those emotions will trump the fact that God is still in control and the fact that God gave you this vision. You are on this journey simply for a reason. Every hurdle, every bump, every no is literally there for a reason. It's not going to feel good in the moment, but once you get past that stage and when you look back, you will realize why it happened the way it happened, when it happened, and that everything you desire is still within your sights. Everything I desire as an entrepreneur, as a podcaster, as a novelist, as an entrepreneur is still within my sights. I am on the precipice of it. I am creeping closer and closer to it simply because I've embraced this journey for the past 8 years. 450 episodes and counting, but I embraced it. There were episodes where I wasn't inspired. There were episodes where I wasn't uplifted. There are episodes where I wasn't motivated. There are episodes where I didn't even want to press the record button, but I still did it because of consistency. And that discipline has inspired me to be consistent and disciplined in other areas of my life. Because if I can stay dedicated to a podcast since 2016 every single week, then surely I could be dedicated in my personal life. Then surely I could be dedicated in my spiritual life. Then surely I could be dedicated in my romantic life. Otherwise, I'm a hypocrite. So I had to embrace this journey so it can teach me so many things about me and about my life. And it's the same thing with you. Whatever your journey, whatever you're going through, it is a lesson in that. But not only that, it's many lessons in that you can embrace and you can understand from multiple perspectives. That is why you have to fall in love with it. That is why you have to open your eyes. And that is why you can't continue to complain and say, woe is me. Yes, things are hard. Yes, things are not going to go the way you want them to go, but everything is going the way it needs to go so it can benefit you ultimately in the process. You are on the precipice of a huge breakthrough in your career, in your business, in your love life, in your personal life, in your health life, in your spiritual life, in whatever avenue it is, you are on the precipice of it. But you have to continue to look back over your life at the journey you have trekked and embrace it and be grateful for every single thing, for every pothole, for every hurdle, for every smooth road. Be grateful for it because it's teaching you, because it's molding you, it's building character, and it's making you better. So that's my podcast today, everybody. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. You are on the precipice of a new chapter, of a brighter day, of a smoother road, of a huge breakthrough. Just continue to put one foot after the other. But don't walk like a zombie. Walk with purpose and embrace every single inch that you have come. If this podcast has blessed you in any way, shape, or form, I ask for two things as always. Number one, please pass it on to a friend. And number two, please leave a 5-star review. I would surely appreciate it. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you next week.